Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. So after 3 years, it seems like I have finally succumbed to some minor long haul COVID symptoms. I recovered from COVID-19 a little bit over a week ago, and I have some symptoms that kind of show us that we need to be careful what we wish for, because months ago, if you had asked me if I would like to have this symptom, I might have said yeah. And so now that I have it, it's a very different story. Let me review the last couple of times I got COVID-19. The very first time I got it, I don't know when exactly. What had happened was I was living in Seattle. Back in May of 2020, we had a program for testing people for antibodies for COVID-19, and I tested positive. The only thing I can think of is that I used to love to go stargazing in Ellensburg, and but I wasn't hanging with a large crowd of people when I was doing the stargazing. Sometimes I would go into after the stargazing the following day. I was hanging out in downtown Ellensburg, and during the whole pandemic, if you went to Ellensburg during that time, nobody would have thought. No, it didn't seem like there was a pandemic if you hung around Ellensburg. There weren't too many precautions and all that. So that was the first time I hardly felt anything. The second time I also hardly felt anything, except it was September of 2021. I was going on a 48-hour fast in memorial of the 20th anniversary of 9/11. That whole fast was very, very easy to do, and I didn't know why it was so easy to do. I found out because I needed to get a COVID-19 test in order to go to a backgammon tournament. Now, that week I was very forgetful of stuff, and I almost got into a disagreement when I went to the testing facility. At that point, I was living in Phoenix. I went to the testing facility, and I almost left my cell phone at the testing center. And I really needed the phone because I'm really bad with directions here in the Phoenix area. I still do not understand the roads here in Phoenix. I asked the guy at the front desk, "Hey, did I leave my cell phone in his office?" And he took a very cursory look and said, "Oh no, it's not here." I knew it was there. I had a mental image of where I even set it down. And he was insisting it wasn't there. I really needed the phone because otherwise I was going to be lost. So I ran into his office to grab the phone. That really upset him. And he said, Sir, you can't go in there. And he was threatening to call security. By this point, I had already gotten the phone. I said, sorry, but thank you. I really need my phone. And I left, and a couple days later, I get an email saying that the test was positive. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, I'm in so much trouble. The people there are going to think that I gave everybody else COVID-19 when I ran back into the office. And so I had a little mental confusion during that whole time. I assumed that the reason I was so mentally confused was because of the fasting. I didn't attribute to the easiness of the fasting and the mental confusion with COVID-19 until afterwards. That's how mild the symptoms were. I got COVID-19 once again last May 2022. I was very upset because when I asked for a day off to go see a lunar eclipse in May of 2022, my boss gave me an attitude like it was, a day off for this kind of stuff. He didn't say it like that, but he gave me an attitude. I was very upset, and I guess God just said, you know what, go to the eclipse, don't worry about your boss. And so I got COVID-19. It was probably stress related as well that I compromised my immune system. And in this past week, I've been staying up late programming the game of Ticket to Ride Poland. We're coming up to the 125th anniversary of Poland's greatest invention. So to honor that, want to program an AI for the game of Ticket to Ride Polo. There's also some novel AI concepts in that as well. So kind of stressed out, and there's also an art show that I'm preparing myself for, making art out of, well, an element that can also be used to make the Poland's greatest invention, right? So, and so I've been very stressed out. Haven't been sleeping very well. Now, I'm a week and a half into actually clearing the virus itself, but I've completely lost my appetite. Now, I'm not sure if it's physical or mental, though, because during the time that I home quarantined, I kept thinking about how disgusting it was that Americans take big bites out of their food. That's been a little bit of an obsession for me lately. And so I got very grossed out about the idea of eating. You combine the thoughts of how disgusting eating is with COVID-19, and you almost want to throw up. Unfortunately, I cleared COVID-19 out of my system. I haven't regained the appetite. Now, I say be careful what you wish for, because a few months ago, that was my dream. Unfortunately, having no appetite day in and day out, waking up feeling like you're stuffed every day, even though you might spend the last day eating 300-400 calories, you wake up the next day feeling stuffed. It's kind of a lonely experience almost. I wouldn't wish it on anybody, even though I wished it on myself just a few months ago now. But, you know, as long-haul COVID goes, this is one of the milder ones that I can think of. I'm not having any fatigue. I haven't lost my sense of taste. It's just that I feel stuffed when I wake up every day. And even though the last couple of days I've been eating in the hundreds of calories, I still wake up feeling stuffed. Alright, a week and a half into possible long-haul COVID. I don't know if it's mental or physical. It kind of straddles the two. Stay well, everybody, I guess. I don't wish this on anybody. I mean, as much as you might say that you want to lose weight, lose your appetite, you hate eating or whatever, I wouldn't wish this on anybody. It's kind of a lonely experience. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.